Hello and welcome to Roar Time right here at CTV Beam with the head coach, director of operations. Coach, I tell you, you've got some pretty stellar stats, my man. Coming into this game, just as a recap, ladies and gentlemen, Coach Jason Gibson, head coach of your Columbus Lions. I'm just a mere voice, your host right here at Roar Time. Eric Fowler, but Dr. Love in the jungle. Coach, as I was saying, you got some pretty stellar stats, my man. I was looking at the program and just kind of keeping up with your history, man.
So you talking about me?
Yeah, you personally. You personally. I mean, we'll get to the stats about the guy, about the game against the Lehigh Valley Chicken Hawks. I mean, the Steel Hawks.
I love that.
The Steel Hawks. But, Coach, great win.
Great win. Thanks.
This is now your 105th victory in terms of your stellar record.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, I was pretty impressed. I mean, just looking at the stats that you've had in your history with this organization.
Boy, if I can get to 200.
Man, it's a party.
If I can get to 200, holy cow.
It's a party.
That's 10, 9, maybe 8 more years.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good.
That would be pretty stellar.
Pretty
stellar. Well, Coach, congratulations on a victory and well-deserved one. Let's just get right into it. I mean, we hit from the very opening of the Lions Walk. I mean, this was absolutely a warm welcome from our fan base.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good crowd. Good to see the turnout with everybody that showed up.
Absolutely.
There's a lot going on in that game, and a lot of people there, a lot of moving parts to come see a really good game. It was exciting. I think it was the largest crowd we've ever had on opening day.
It was.
Since I've been here. So
Friday the 13th of all nights. I mean,
Friday's a good night to me. You get off work, you get the kids, you go to a game at 7:30, and you got the whole weekend yourself. So maybe that's something I need to look at.
Hey, we might look into it. It was a good game.
Yeah.
Very good turnout. Very good. Columbus and the Tri-City area and all points in between. You showed up. You showed out. Hats off to you. We got to do it once again coming up this Saturday, April 21st. We've got our arch enemies, the Jacksonville Sharks, coming up in the jungle. We got to make certain that they become Lions meat. There's a new thing going on. I heard it from Larry Edwards during the course of the Lions Walk. He says, Lions eat.
Lions eat. That's pretty good, man.
That was a pretty good one. So I have taken that. I've coined that phrase.
Lions eat.
Got to give Larry Edwards his props. He's giving me just something else to hold on to.
They ate on Friday night.
They did eat on Friday night. So let's talk about that, Coach. Getting into this, offensively, we had 275 total offensive yards. What's your thoughts about that, Coach?
There was 5 possessions. We didn't score them. That's that's crazy. It sounds. That's how I see it. You know? I mean, that was a lot of yardage, but there was 5 possessions. There was an end of the half situation we didn't capitalize on. And that's things we practice. No, we didn't capitalize on that. We had 2 fumbles. We had a botched onside kick that they recovered.
Correct.
And of course, really 4 possessions because the last possession of the game we were just running the clock out. But that's 4 possessions. That's 28 more points. That's another 100 yards.
Yeah.
We didn't get it, so it could have been better than that, but I'll take it.
You'll take it. Okay. Now, when we make those comparatives of what Lehigh brought to the table, I think we've had some predictions in the season, as it would be. Your thoughts on Lehigh in terms of, was this more of a?
They lost a lot.
Okay.
I mean, you lose the MVP of the league.
Yeah.
Okay. Lose your head coach. You lose your 3-star receivers. So I mean, they lost a lot of players. Now they had a lot of veterans on the team now, but Coach Kohler's he's a veteran coach. He's a classy coach, and then it's a process for them. I mean, I've been there, done that. And so they did what they could do, and they'll be better next game. I guarantee it. That's how arena football is. Sometimes you go in a game, you just don't know what you have.
That's true.
And then you can evaluate it from a game situation. And we both had a bye week 1, playing each other, plus they travel all the way to Columbus, plus they're playing in the jungle. I got veteran quarterback. It was a lot added up to them. And it came out the way it did. I'm not trying to down on them, but they'll be a lot better coming through because it's just first-class organization. It's just one of those years that they're going to have to try to rebuild. And then at some point, we all go through it.
That's right. Perfect segue. You talked about Mason Espinosa. He had a pretty good 18 for 25 with 200 yards in passing.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts about Mason coming back second year? Obviously after Pretty shaky first year, but he's come in from his first game, and all indications are showing he's just as poised.
Well, if you look at his last three, let me see, 1, 2, 3. You look at his last 3 games, he's 15-1 touchdowns, interceptions.
Yeah.
He's over 200 yards a game. He's over 60%, I don't know, 18 to 25. I'm trying to think of my math real quick. That's probably, it's almost, 70%?
Yeah, so stellar performance.
70% completion, I think. Don't rip me if I'm wrong. But
so the Alabama math working.
Yeah. So he's putting the ball in the right place. He's just doing really well.
Yeah.
And you can't argue with it. He's just on fire right now.
Yeah.
And it's week 1, And it's funny because he had 2 bad quarters in his entire career. And that's all everybody harps on was Jacksonville. But, when we'll talk about it in the next segment,
exactly.
But he gives a little chance for redemption.
Oh, yeah. And this is a year of redemption. So what better way than to put that.
But he's on fire. He knows where the ball needs to go. And he came out and there was never hesitation. He's lighting it up.
Absolutely. Well, we'd be remiss if we definitely wouldn't talk about the supporting cast with Mason. Jermon Fortson. That kid's a beast. I mean, literally.
I said it last week. I told everybody he had the 3 best receivers in the league. They don't want to believe me. I don't care. Doesn't matter. He is.
Yeah,
he's the best in the league.
Yeah. 85 total yards, 4 touchdowns. What can you say about that?
I mean, again, whenever you want to give him the ball, you can.
That's right.
Between him, and then Deron Neal is that good.
Yeah.
He is that good, and we just don't have enough possessions to get the ball to everybody.
Exactly.
And Purefoy. Tristan's, any one of those receivers would be the number 1 receiver on any team in this league. It's not even close.
That's big.
And the numbers back it up. So it's not my opinion. It's the paper's opinion.
You talk about Deron Neal, 70 total yards, 2 touchdowns. Tristan Purefoy, 40 yards receiving.
Yeah, even going back in the last year, the numbers just don't lie.
They don't.
And Deron, that was his first game back. He basically was, we ran a lot of stuff. What people don't see, they see all the stats. What they don't see is when we had a huge running game, which we'll talk about, but the blocking those receivers do.
Oh my God!
There's a couple pancakes by Deron and Jarmon, so they'll push you around too.
Oh yeah.
And I'm kind of hanging them out there a little bit, for the league, and that's okay. They know it. They don't mind. They work hard. They're good ball players.
That's right.
They're all top tier players.
Yeah. Well, they come every day to perform, so it's a no-brainer in terms of the level of competition.
But they do it in practice. That's how they work hard in practice. So they're not these guys that just. That's what's the best thing about those 3 players. Those are the hardest working players in practice. It isn't just, hey, I'm a prima donna, I'm going to show up on game day, throw me the ball, me. Mm-hmm. We weed those guys out anyway. They wouldn't be there. But they work hard in practice. Tristan takes every rep.
Yeah.
Deron takes every rep. And they push it to the limit. And then you get in the game, then there's the results.
Exactly. Well, red zone scoring, 6 to 7. That's
the only stat that matters to me.
Yeah, to you, absolutely.
All the other stuff's great. I've been in games, I've thrown for 400 and lost. So throwing for yards doesn't matter, But 2 things that really stand out to me, kind of 3rd down conversions. I think they were 1 of 10. And then 3rd down conversions in red zone. If you score 6 out of 7 in the red zone, pretty good chance you're going to win the game.
Yeah.
And we did. We did a good job. And that's something we got to capitalize on. I think last year we were around 80% in the red zone. This year I need to be 90, 95.
Yeah, we were 3 or 4 3rd down conversions.
That's even better. They were 1 of 10, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So just a stellar performance. Great home opener. Can't say enough about the fan support. Filled the stadium quickly. For this game, and we just want to make certain that we have that same impact coming in Saturday against the Jacksonville Sharks. We want to make certain that they truly understand, because they remember the jungle. They're no strangers to the jungle.
Right.
They understand what they're up against.
But they've never seen no military night.
No, they have not. So speaking of military night, appreciation night, I might add. Thank you so much for serving the country and all that you've done for the freedoms that we have here back in the States. We'd be remiss if we did not appreciate and show our appreciation. This is an opportunity for us to do that. Coach, let's talk about Military Appreciation Night coming up Saturday.
Yeah, big shout out to USAA. Liberty Utilities for stepping up. Jay Broadwin, Kinetic Credit Union, they all bought tickets for the soldiers. That's huge.
That is huge.
That's huge. We have a huge support of fans, individuals, and businesses that are helping to help us transport the soldiers back and forth. The list is so long I can't even go through it, so it would be impossible.
Yeah.
But USAA does a great job getting on Fort Benning. And I tell you what's good about USAA and Jillian Kilman and those guys up in Atlanta and the guys in San Antonio. They genuinely care about the soldiers. They don't do it, and I know I'm saying their name a lot and I'm plugging USAA and it sounds like that. But talking to their staff and talking with the people involved in that company, they don't want the recognition. You know, they got their name on it and they support it, but they want to support it behind the scenes because it's the right thing to do because of the services that they provide and how they treat their customers. It's not about just, hey, do me a favor, put my name up there, look at us, we support the soldiers. And they just know how to do it right.
That's right. Because a lot of people will try to take advantage of situations.
Oh,
like
yeah.
That.
Yeah, I mean, but they generally, they understand. You know, we're doing some replica military jerseys, which are off the chain. We're going to auction them off after the game, proceeds going back to Wounded Warrior and stuff like that. And I asked USA, hey, what do you want to do about the jersey? Where do you want your patches? You know, blah, blah. And they told me, hey, we're not worried about our name being on it. We want to represent Fort Benning. We want to represent the Columbus Lions. We want to represent our customers. We don't need to be on the jersey. And I've never had a sponsor say that.
That's huge.
And that's just how it's kind of what company organization it is. It's one of the true ones around that does the right thing.
I'm reminded of an old adage, and it's kind of biblical. And it says, give and it shall be returned to you, pressed down, shaken together, running over into your bosom. And USAA is just following that foundational principle. You know, give and it shall come back to you. I think that's awesome, Coach. Let's talk a little bit about defense. You know, I think we had some.
That's what action happened.
That's exactly what action was happening, Coach. That's exactly where it was going down. Greg Hall is someone that comes to mind, Coach.
Well, Greg got the National Arena League's Player of the Week for defense.
That's big.
It's big. Rookie, first game, plays linebacker, played the end, Greg Hall out of Auburn. And it was a cast of characters that day because a lot of people contributed. You know, the quiet person in that whole thing is Robert Caldwell, who played for us in the PIFL Championship in 15. Robert's a stud. I knew it. We talked about that the last show.
We did.
I said his two best linebackers.
You did.
Now I got two best linebackers and I got three best receivers. Everybody's like, come on, Coach.
Great. When you got it, you got it.
Robert had 8 tackles. He's all over the place.
Yeah, he was.
And he was wreaking havoc. But Greg had, 3 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, a fumble recovery for 17 yards, and he had
2 sacks.
2 sacks.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a big day.
That was he went to work.
Yes, he did.
He went to work.
So he got the National Arena League's Defensive Player of the Week, and that's a congrats to Greg and the efforts. And we knew something special about him, from day one. I just couldn't figure out where he'd fit in.
Yeah.
But his athleticism was off the charts. And sometimes you don't have to be a good coach; you just got to have good players.
There you go.
And he did great.
Larry Edwards, we can't forget about our favorite in terms of.
He's a vet.
I mean, he's all over the field, man. Just, smash mouth in your face, throwing people left and right.
Yeah, I mean, Lehigh had a big fullback who's supposed to be one of the top tier fullbacks in the league, and he had 3 carries for 1 yard.
Exactly.
1.
1 yard.
Not 2.
Just 1.
Just 1.
Uno.
And that's what happens when you have 2 good linebackers.
That's right.
And the speed that we have now. How does that translate into next week with a better offensive line? A lot better fullback. It changes things. The talent level stepped up. We talked about, you playing Georgia against Georgia Southern, or you playing against Georgia.
Yeah. And
the talent level is going to kind of move up. No disrespect to anybody else. I didn't mean it that way. So I'm just saying. It's going to be stiffer competition.
But there's some comparatives. I mean,
it is. And like, again, going back to Lehigh, they'll upgrade. Their roster of all the teams in the league, their roster was devastated the most.
Yeah.
From guys moving on, moving up, moving out, transitioning over. I mean, they just really got hammered, and so they're basically starting over. And those defensive guys got after. Those guys are all vets. Pickett, Caldwell, All these guys got after it. Ross, a rookie at Arkansas State.
Yeah.
He's got a motor. We talked about him in the other show. Darius Rosser. That's for you, buddy. They got after it, man, and they can fly and they can get up the field and they got a lot of energy.
Exactly.
They got more energy than I got right now.
Hey, well, Coach, you've got good reason to be in the position that you're in, and
and then on the back end, you got guys like you had Pickett, Griswold, and Stevenson playing great, and you got Shottle, Finnig, and Robert Sands, who are as good as anybody in the league, coming off the bench. So we got depth on defense, we got talent on defense, and if we can see that repeat this week, then it's going to be a really good season for us.
Good deal. Well, Coach, let's have your thoughts about kind of going back on the offensive end of the ball, because we talked a lot about Jeremy Johnson coming from Auburn University, and him getting the opportunity to get in the game. What were your thoughts just about Jeremy's performance?
Just excited for him. I know he just wanted to play. They all want to play.
Exactly.
Mason didn't want to come out. I talked to Mason. I'm like, hey, this game's out of hand.
Yeah.
He's like, Coach, I didn't come here to sit the bench. I come here to play.
That's right.
I get that. I came here to win a championship, and we had the conversation, and that's what makes Mason so good. He's just a pro.
Yeah. Competitive,
wants to play.
Hungry.
But he also understands the prize. I told him, you go out there at 55-10, and you blow a knee out for what? Now what?
That's right.
But Jeremy got in through a touchdown pass. I knew that was going to happen.
That's right.
He broke a tackle, and he's excited to play because this arena will rejuvenate you as far as football. It'll get you.
It does.
Get you excited. So he did well. And I got two starting quarterbacks. I got two quarterbacks on my team that could start for anybody in the league.
That's right. Speaking about that 50-point frenzy, Coach, we always say with dominoes, if you didn't get it, center sticks for everyone.
Until this time.
Why is that, Coach?
Because they don't have center sticks anymore.
Are you kidding me?
It's center bread.
So
I got a phone call from the headquarters of Domino's because you did a good job. As I was so excited about the promotion and we hit the 50 points, you got the crowd chanting "Center sticks, center sticks," and that was great. So I
so now I got to go with center bread.
Well, I emailed the Domino's brass and said this was a great promotion. You should have heard the stands. Everybody's chanting "Center sticks," and they're like, "Oh my gosh, we got to call you." So I talked to them on the phone, and they're like, "We don't do the center sticks anymore. They do. I think it's crazy bread. Okay. Not crazy bread.
Whoa.
But they do.
That's another one.
They do the three types of bread. One is center sticks, and I got to get the other two.
Okay.
So we had to change the promotion.
Gotcha.
So I got new signage coming. It was listed. People got to take advantage of it. So I had center. I'm not gonna lie to you. Every Monday it's a tradition. When we hit the point, we have 2 boxes of pizza in the office from Domino's, which sets the day.
Absolutely.
And then we have the center bread, and that center bread was phenomenal.
Wow.
So it probably was better than center sticks. It really was.
Okay.
I was licking fingers. It was good. It was really good. But the whole way it went down, it was just it was a funny weekend.
Yeah.
That they're like, no, we're not doing that. Because I knew fans had already gone to the store and wanted center sticks.
Absolutely.
And so that was good. That was a great promotion. It was one of the better ones. And then the other one that was really good that was new, I heard you mention it, but we made the deuce.
Popeyes,
Popeyes deuce. You get a free apple pie with a combo every time we make the deuce.
Okay.
And I Popeyed it last night. I tell you what, it was good, man.
That's good
I love
stuff.
Sam and those guys. So we just got good sponsors, good food, all of them, man. It was fun.
Good deal. Well, Coach, we're going to go right into break and come back. And we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the sponsors. The plethora of sponsors, I might add, that support Lion Nation. Hold to your seats. We'll be right back with more Roar Time right here at CTV Beam.
USAA gives me the peace of mind and the security just like the Marines did. At one point I did change to a different company with car insurance and I was not happy with the customer service. We have switched back over and we feel like we're back home now. We're the Williams family and we're USAA members for life.
An orthopedic injury doesn't mean you have to spend hours in the ER. Houston Urgent Ortho now offers orthopedic urgent care 6 days a week. At Houston Urgent Ortho, see an orthopedic specialist for your fracture, sprain, strain, or pain. Everything you need for your orthopedic injury is here because orthopedics is all we do. Go straight to the specialist. Go to Houston Urgent Ortho.
Welcome back to Roar Time, right here with head coach Jason Gibson. Dr. Love on the mic, your voice of the Columbus Lions. Velvet voiceover in the building. We love it. Coach, sponsors. We talked a little bit in the first segment about some wonderful sponsors. Let's go down and just kind of give some shout-outs, what shout-outs to do, will you?
Definitely. We got to start with Sprague Supplies. Sponsor of the Lions Catch of the Game at each game and on CTV Beam each week. There's 3 locations in Columbus, Alexander Street, Phoenix City, and Auburn. Love the guy that there at Sprague Supplies. Motor Acceptance. Are you trapped in a title pond? I love reading these.
Go ahead.
Are you trapped in a title pond? Low interest, lower your payments, and get up to $1,000 in cash with Motor Acceptance Corp. in Columbus, Georgia. Just call 1-800-NEW-RATE. They got some pretty cool dashers in the arena. I like it
They
too.
do. Very nice.
Now, we got a great new sponsor, Air Force Reserve Recruiting. They're sponsors of Pass the Pigskin, and they're sponsors of the Defensive Player of the Game
Absolutely.
that we talked about here on the
Correct.
show in 2018. Also, they're big on Military Appreciation Night, which is this week. The Overby Company's been with us for a long time.
Shred away as well.
Shred away, document shredding and storage. Protect your business the best way. And of course, Midas of Columbus. Midas is sponsors the Player of the Game. Every touchdown is a Midas of Columbus touchdown. Trust the Midas touch. Love that place.
That's right.
And Players Restaurant and Billiards, a local bar and grill. Now, each game, fans cast their program ballots at the Lions Fan Center to win either a lunch at Players on 54th Street or dinner at Locals on Somerville Road with their favorite Lions fans. And obviously, we always talk about, Jack Houston.
That's right.
Sorry, Houston Clinic.
Houston Clinic, yes.
I say Jack Houston, it's right by my house. Houston Clinic, Kinetic, the list goes on. Golden Corral takes care of our players. We talked about Popeyes, we talked about Domino's, Little Caesars and Mike Osmond. Beth Bone, she takes care of all our players. Rehab.
That's right.
Jay Broadwin. The list goes on and on. As we get bigger and the organization gets bigger, the people that we do business with gets bigger.
That's right.
And then we love supporting everybody. And so it's great sponsors. And Jordan's Dogs. Our girls down there on Jordan's
Gourmet
Dogs.
dogs, yes.
Love it.
Got to have them. Sponsors, we appreciate everything that you do in Lion Nation. We appreciate the support. And Tri-City, Lion Nation, go out and support these sponsors. I think it's essential. And Coach, you said it. We live in one of the best communities on the face of this planet, and this is a great part of what we do. The fact that we have sponsorships here in the local area. And we're always welcoming to having more sponsors. So, Coach, if there's someone that wants to have an opportunity to provide some level of sponsorship, are they too late this point in the season to do so?
No, we just picked up a couple. We picked up Popeyes late. We picked up Firehouse Subs.
What?
Yes. So that's pretty good.
That is pretty good, Coach.
I mean, and I don't want to do anybody in we want to do them all right. But the thing about it is, there's 3 or 4 things I really love: my wife, my kids, football, food.
That's right.
So,
specifically in that order, Lion
really,
Nation.
my wife, my kids.
Okay, there you go.
So, but all these places have great food. I can't eat at them all the time.
Well, Coach, I'll go take a little. Hey, I'm your boy, so I got to eat too, Coach.
People in town probably see me at all. They see me at all the different restaurants in town. But for Firehouse to come on board,
that's right.
Now it was great. Popeyes came on board, which is great, and it just keeps adding up. And Muscle Maker Grill, that's a great place off Fort Benning, man.
Yeah.
They'll deliver to your house.
Really?
Yes, it's good. They'll do 5 meals for $34 to your doorstep.
That's huge.
That's good. We can talk about that another time.
Yeah.
But just great people, man. It's good food. Good food all in Columbus. Everywhere's good food.
Everywhere is good food. Coach, let's get back to a little football. Let's talk about our injured reserve list.
Our Houston Clinic injury report.
There you go.
I was on the phone with Dr. Garinger today.
You were?
Before we even filmed the show about players. Because, right now Quavon Hicks has a sprained knee, so we're waiting to get an MRI back results. Hopefully he can play. I think he'll be fine.
He was a good addition to
Very
Lion
good
Nation.
addition.
Yes.
Darius Rosser, somebody stepped on his foot, and we're waiting to see. He had to get X-rays. X-rays were negative, which we're trying to find out Darius Rosser. And of course, Greg Hall sprained his ankle. That's not good.
My goodness.
I've got more people in his injury report. In week 1, we had all of last year. Ken Washington has Achilles surgery, so he's out for the year. Marte Sears, knee injury. I mean, that's 2 starters.
Yeah.
And it's just adding up. And but luckily they get great care over there, Houston Clinic, and I hope this is the last time we got to mention other than the fact that they're a sponsor.
That's right. Well, we definitely want to hats off and prayers to our players who are on that injury reserve list, and we're praying for a speedy recovery for those guys, because they are a very critical part to Lion Nation, and we need you back on the field, guys, as quickly as possible. Obviously under doctor's care, and doctor's orders.
Play and coach is coach.
That's right.
I can't play.
That's right. So, Coach, let's talk a little bit about the Sharks. You know, they definitely are, I would like to say, our nemesis, just based off of history from last year.
We ain't beaten them yet.
We haven't. We lost to them 3 times. Each time we played them, obviously the first time was our season opener at home last year. I mean, they really showed us who they were. And
yeah, they did, but I mean, we had a bunch of rookies playing this time.
That's true.
I get that. It wasn't like that the last two.
No, it was not.
The last two came down the last possession.
Yes, it did.
So, but yeah, we haven't beat them yet. I mean, they got our number. What are you going to say?
Yeah. Well, they're coming into the jungle. Sharks, I did it last year, and I'm going to do it again this year. You smell that? That's shark stew coming in the jungle. Yeah, I'm talking it, and we're backing it up. So, Coach, I'm feeling it. I feel good about this weekend, Military Appreciation Night. How many soldiers can we expect to have in the stadium?
There's 4,700 tickets out today.
4,700 tickets. Wow. And we've still got days left in the week.
Yes.
Before game day.
So if you're going to get there, you better get there early, because
That's right.
the lines were out the door last week.
Yes.
And I don't think the Civic Center was prepared for us to have a game to have that many people waiting outside.
Exactly.
So hopefully they'll be prepared this week. But
there you go.
4,700 tickets already. It could be one of the largest crowds we've ever had. That's what it's pushing. That's what it's looking like. And it's going to be loud.
It is. It's going to be you. And I'm going to be behind the mic, getting the crowd rattled. I'm the crowd motivator, sports commentator, Dr. Love. I'm loving it, Coach. I tell you, from the opening, 6:30, gates open. The Lions walk is going down. The Lions fans are in the building. They're explosive. They are excited to get going, just to get into the jungle. That tension that's in the air is good tension. And Coach, you coming in with the Lions for pregame, prep talk, and getting the fans all involved. Then we have prayer right at the paws of Rex, that humongous bust of a lion right there. It's just a powerful thing, man. It's just a powerful thing.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you guys to get those Army guys going when they start chanting.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
that Soldier's Creed is powerful.
It reminds me. I'm a movie guy. It reminds me of. I don't know if we talked about this. It reminds me of Major League.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah,
we have talked about it.
Yeah, when they walk out and the fans are looking around like, what is that noise? When Charlie Sheen walks out of the bullpen. So it's the same thing, and I'm excited. That part, I'm excited to share it with other people who haven't experienced it.
That's right. The experience itself, Tri-City area and all points in between and abroad, you need to be in the jungle this Saturday, April 21st. It's going down. Your Columbus Lions play host to some shark meat. Lions eat, as we call it. So, Coach, let's get into the fact that we are continuing on this hiatus of such a high coming out of the Lehigh game. And what do you think it's going to take to keep that level of momentum in front of us?
Well, I mean, when you look at Jacksonville, they got a great defense. That's no brainer,
But they lost their season opener.
Well, they lost their home opener. But I say this as a joke, but I made a 3-pointer one time too. I don't put a lot of weight into that.
That's right.
I mean, it happens, but there were some situations in that game that could have easily went the other way. I don't think that game was as close. Plus, they lost their quarterback late in the third quarter. They could have put that game away, but they got a great defense, and Marvin Ross is as good as there is in the league.
Yeah.
Jeremiah Price is as good as there is in the league. Keith Bowers is as good as there is in the league. So they have their standard guys on defense that are going to get after you. That's the issue that we're facing.
Okay.
Offensively, they got a bunch of new guys, and it just doesn't really stand out. I'm just being honest. It's not like it wows you.
Gotcha.
But they're effective. They get it done. They score some points. But they score points because their defense puts them in that position to score points.
To score. And that makes the world of difference.
Well, yeah. I mean, you look at the Massachusetts game against Jacksonville. I mean, Mass scored 63 points. The Mass offense did not score 63 points because Jacksonville went for it on their own 2-yard line one time on 4th down and didn't get it. So Mass had to go 2 yards for a touchdown. That doesn't count.
Yeah.
They had a pick 6 and they blocked a fumble. So that's 21 points that Mass scored on offense that they didn't really score on offense. That was really just it was other scoring. So their defense is going to hold people to 5 touchdowns. They did the same thing to Carolina. Carolina only scored 38 or 39 points. So that's what I'm looking at. How do we get to the 7 touchdown mark? If we get to the 7 touchdown mark, we'll win.
That's right.
If we don't, we'll lose.
Okay.
And they're that good.
Well, Lion Nation, you heard it right here from head coach Jason Gibson. He's a realist, obviously. The numbers don't lie. He's been in this thing long enough to know. And Lions, we need you to come out ready. Get healed up, guys. We need you. And we want to make certain that we are out here providing the best level of production on the field against these Sharks as they travel up from, Jacksonville, Florida. Coming over here to the dirty South, as we call it, right here in Columbus, Georgia. Lion Nation, we'll take another pause for the cause. And when we come back, we'll talk about our superlatives, the players of the game. Stay tuned right here, CTV Beam.
Collision Surgeons of Columbus, now at our new location at 5050 Warm Springs Road Connector. We've teamed up with JP Auto Care to create a one-stop shop for your collision and mechanical needs. Don't go into cardiac arrest. Come by Collision Surgeons at 5050 Warm Springs Road Connector.
Welcome back to Roar Time. I've got Coach Jason Gibson right here. Coach, this is that part of the show where we like to talk about and give credit and honor where honor is due. We've got our Players of the Game segment, Coach, starting with the Midas Touch Player of the Game. Who is that guy, Coach?
It's going to be Greg Hall, number 22, defensive end slash linebacker. Greg had a great game. 2.5 sacks, forced fumble recovery for 17 yards, 3 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss. So congratulations to Greg for the Midas Touch Player of the Game.
Hey, Greg, good job. And then we've got the Sprague's Napa Auto Parts catch of the game, Coach. Who was that guy?
That was a big catch. That was number 5, Deron Neal out of Oklahoma.
Yes.
Deron had a huge catch on a 4th down play early in the game, kept the drive alive, and he's definitely worthy of the Sprague's Napa Supplies catch of the game. Congrats,
Deron Neal. Collision Surgeons hit of the game, Coach.
That was a favorite. Obviously, Cindy out there at Collision Surgeons, they do a great job. Kyle's Griswood, it's on his Instagram. Go check out number 9, Kyle Griswood, in his Instagram. Trust me, he posted it 100 times. So Kyle's the Collision Surgeons hit of the game. Great job, Kyle. Congratulations.
Congrats, Kyle Griswood. That's Columbus's own Kyle Griswood. Then we've got the supercharged offensive player of the game, Coach.
Supercharged.
Who
else, man? Jermaine Fortson, number 1.
Now that's a Carver guy.
That's a Carver guy. That's a Carver
yes.
Tiger. Jermaine, number 1. He actually changed his number this year. People don't know if they realize that. He said he wanted to go bold school. He changed from number 6 to number 1. That's the number he wore at Carver. So he was a player of the game. 9 catches, 4 touchdowns, Mr. Everything, couple pancake blocks. He definitely was supercharged on that field.
Good deal. And then last, but certainly not least, and our new one right here, Air Force Reserve Defensive Player of the Game. Coach, who was that?
Darius Rosser. He had a motor that just wouldn't stop. He had, I think he had a couple sacks. Darius got after it, and what can I say about him?
What can you say?
He does all the talking. That's why I'm a little talked out now. Darius to do all the talking. Just go see him. Number 93, defensive end, Arkansas State. He had a great game, and congratulations.
Well, hats off to all of our players of the game. Coming out of the recap of that Lehigh Steelhawk we played host to, your Columbus Lions. Hey, Lion Nation, please make certain April 21st is going down in the jungle. This Saturday, the gates open, 6:30. Kickoff 7:30. Please make certain that you pack the stadium. It is Military Appreciation Night. If you need to get your tickets, please check by the Columbus Civic Center, or you can go on columbuslions.net for more information. Coach, as always, it's a pleasure. Always enjoy this Roar Time opportunity with you. Lion Nation, you stay tuned for more Roar Time right here at CTV Beam. Go Lions!